Hello trader, welcome back to another live session, and we can see that there is a suddenly a big move happening on gold. That I was looking at the chart, and to see what's happening in this live session, we'll be looking to see is there any news has come out. I think there is a news probably. Do you guys know that what's happening? We see there is a sudden a big move happening on Xauusd. Thank you for joining the live session. Absolutely. Let's look at last day of trading week. As monthly close coming, we could see that there is a significant move, and we can see that suddenly there is a big move is happening in this instrument. As if you look at the monthly close coming up, so also there is a manipulation here, and we could see potentially significant movement in this session. As monthly close coming, we see the price on the daily support level, and if we look at the bigger picture here, you can see that this is a significantly falling market at the moment. And in this falling market, we see the market is manipulating here. We saw that upside bias. We saw there was a big rejection from the top. Again, the market is trying to push back here. So it's grabbing liquidity from both sides. If you look at here 4-hour chart, this is a 4-hour support level. Looking at to see, in fact, what kind of market structure is forming. We can see that there is a here it just grabbed as massive liquidity and trying to push back up here on the 4-hour chart. Also the market is trying to break above this level here. So let's see what kind of price action it is forming and why the market is potentially grabbing bigger liquidity here for possible further movement to the upside or moving back again. We see that there is a rejection from the support on the daily. So because it's a falling market, suddenly there is a rejection here. We'll see that what kind of price action it might be forming here. So if you look at, it's showing significantly bullish move suddenly. Looking at the lower time frame here, there is a rejection from the support. So for us to find any entry, let's see that what the market is trying to do here. So this is a currently showing potentially a bull move. So from the daily, we can see that there is a rejection to the upside. It might try to go back to the daily resistance, as there is a sharp bounce. There is a high volatility at the moment, and in this high volatile, let's see that what the market is trying to do here, and it's potentially approaching an important level here. So we see that it's sharply rising to the upside, and probably we see that there is a bounce is because of the fundamental that has been probably some of the fundamental reason that we see the market is moving. And with this movement, once we see that enough pullback, we can look for entry, as it is currently in a bullish momentum. Short term, we could see the market to potentially show a bigger move here on this instrument. So let's wait to see what kind of price action it might be forming. There is a doji, and with this doji, so this is the 1 minute chart that we are looking at. is the market coming for pullback or it's pushing back up again? From the 4-hour we can see that there is a sharp bounce, and currently we may see the market to come for deeper pullback, and once we see that enough pullback we can look for possible entry as the market is showing potentially sudden bounce here. So here what you can see that the market is, this is the 1-minute chart, there is a bounce from a doji. We may see that this price potentially to come back again here to the support before we look for any entry. This is the 15 minutes, a pretty strong bounce here, and with this bounce now need to look at either the market to again return back down or keep pushing back to the upside here. Lower time frame we can see this is the 1-minute price action where the market is potentially be coming down again for another liquidity gap. I think we may see that now possible this could be a liquidity grab, and is the market is coming again back below or pushing back to the upside. We'll see that where it is potentially be heading. So we click the 1-minute chart. Here what we can see that from this doji it's trying to push back to the upside. This is the 15 minutes resistance line. We see there is a sudden breakout. Now the question is this breakout for any kind of reversal, or it is just gaining momentum for another wave of drop? Looking at the 1 hour and the 30 minutes look at, seeing that lower time frame price action here, the market pushing back up or coming down? Let's wait to see. If we look at the 4-hour here, we can see there is a sharp bounce from this 4-hour support. Let's delete all those lines, looking to see any potential entry. Now this could be a liquidity grab, and still the market may potentially drop again back to the support here. So from that perspective here, if we look at this market to see, so pushing back down with another liquidity grab here. So you see that it's trying to push back to the direction. So looking at the 15 minutes here, we can see that this is the lower time frame, and there's a narrow doji formation here. With this narrow doji, let's wait to see that the market is trending back up. If it is potentially trending back to the upside here, we may see that the market, if we look at the 15 minutes and 5 minutes price action, we see that there's a 5 minutes candle closing, which potentially be looking to see here. Welcome, thank you very much. Thank you. Welcome, welcome. So there is a doji, and the market with this doji getting a rejection. So you can see that there is a bullish price action here in this area, so which is basically showing that potentially the market to remain bullish for long term. Here is we will be waiting for that the market here to close the candle. We can see that there is a pretty sharp bounce in that area. Let's wait for a price action confirmation. Looking at this is 30 minutes. You can see from here with this curvature, big bounce. Now this bounce is what could be the potential reason for that bounce is that we're looking to see. I think that's gonna be a possible a change of trend. We'll see that, but for me, would like to see one more break of structure in that area, and that's where we can look for entry once we see that enough break of structure. This is the 15 minutes price action. If the market coming again for another wave of drop, we can look for buying here in this area. So looking at this on the 15 minutes that we can look at, which is showing that possible bullish momentum in this area. I think the market may remain bullish back to the upside. To see how the 15 minutes closing is important. And the 5 minutes also closing as a narrow candle. Let's wait for the 15 minutes to close and the 5 minutes. The market, here I'm waiting for this break of structure because there is a sharp bounce. If you guys look at it, you can see it's a pretty strong bounce pullback, and it's now in a sideway. So in this area here, it may potentially be starting to be bullish here. We'll see if the market, the candle is closing here as a bull or bear. So you see that there is a possible for a potential break of structure here. This is waiting to see that the market breaking from that structure on the 15 minutes and then to return back to the upside with another momentum. So before the 15 minutes close, if we see that this is closing as a doji, we'll be placing a pending order above this area for possible upside here. And 1 minute chart would like to see a possible breakup structure here. So you can see the market is trying to push back up. Looking for one more possible breakup structure here. So we'll be using a pending order here above this high and stop loss below this swing low for a possible upside here. 15 minutes. If the candle closed with a bullish impulse, we will be looking for buying opportunity. It's a buy stop placing here on Xauusd. So placing a buy stop, or it's almost there, so I'm going to enter buy market here with only 1% risk. So I am long on Xauusd. The stop loss below all this low for a possible upside move. Now you can see that there is a 15 minutes close coming and expecting that the candle to remain bullish here. So I'm on a trade on Xauusd and expecting it to potentially push back to the upside. Okay, so which is running in this is a bullish setup, and I am on the trade expecting to, because this is a very sharp uptrend, expecting it to remain bullish. We haven't seen any breakup structure, but with the 15 minutes close coming up, this is the 15 minutes price action, expecting if this candle closing on the 15 minutes as a bullish, we may see that further continuation that we can see potentially to be remain upside here. So we are on the trade. This is a bullish potentially for the market to push back up. We see an impulse, expecting one more potential push back to the upside. So if we look at 15 minutes price action, closing candle in few minutes. So this 15 minutes candle that we can see showing possible upside bias. So looking at the 1 minute here, we can see narrow doji. So with the 15 minutes close that we can see, if you look at the 15 minutes, a narrow doji formation, and wanting to see the market to potentially remain bullish, that we can see. So 30 minutes candle closed, and So the 15 minutes close here, that expecting it to potentially push back to the upside. And this is a bullish market setup. We will be looking to see that the price to remain upside here with a possible bullish momentum in that direction here. And so with the 15 minutes closed, this is a doji formation. From the daily, from the 4-hour chart, we can see that there is a 4-hour candle close coming. From the 1 hour also, there is a big bounce back to the upside. And now to see where potentially this market be heading. With this 15 minutes closed, so with the 30 minutes, and so there is a the market has manipulated here. Here is big rejection, so you can see the price has just crossed that low from the lower time frame. And that being said, we just tested the order block. So this is an order block. The price just tested this order block, and we will see that here the price is potentially going back up to retest the resistance or keep pushing back down again. So 1 minute candlestick pattern is closing here as a potential bullish. As the market is getting a rejection from here, I'm holding in the position for possible upside to create a potentially new higher high here. In the meantime, guys, if you're enjoying the live session, make sure you give a thumbs up. Yeah, thank you very much. So we can see that if we look at here, calendar for the upcoming data, that is so which is didn't change much. The data is remaining as it is. So we see that there is a rejection from this support level. So we are on the trade running in. We had a little bit of minus side, but we see that the price again pushing back to the upside. So that being said, it may potentially remain back to the upside. Looking at the 1 minute, a long wick doji. So because there is a break of structure, now if we see the market is again going back to fill that long wick. So 30 minutes, if you look at the 30 minutes, you can see this is a 30 minutes price action, which is we had 100 pip stop loss here, and 30 minutes price action here. From this support there is a sharp bounce, and there is a doji formation here at the moment is forming. So would like to see the market is potentially going back up to the upside to create a new higher high here. And okay, so there is a doji. This is, let's see if the market is pushing back. If it is breaking above from here, that's the possibility the market to possibly go back up to create a new higher high here. That's where you see that the price is going back potentially to the upside. This is a trend line. So if the price is managed to break the trend line, that's where if the market is not being able to break that high, we might see that trend continuation. So 5 minutes candle closed, which is so there is a very sharp, you can see the price has grabbed the liquidity from the top and also from the bottom. Now to see if it is potentially be trending in that direction. Now with a doji formation, getting some rejection from the support level from the 1 minute chart. So you see break of trend line on the 5 minutes showing possible bullish bias. Right, so pretty sharp bounce again. We see double bottom, and with the double bottom expecting to trend back up to create a new higher high, which is currently so looking at 5 minutes, and the 1 minute. So a bullish bias coming up, and still holding it. I think we may see that now possible trend continuation in the direction. We are almost near to the entry and the candle close is very important for possible direction. So here I'm at entry at the moment. My entry is here. So running in potentially, so it just entered into the profit area at the moment, and with that profit area, so expecting to have an upside move back to the upside. With that move that we can see, this is the 5-minute chart here, where 30 minutes getting a rejection back to the upside, 15 minutes here. So we are on the trade and running in profit at the moment, expecting it to potentially push back up. Are you guys with me? So you're still running in, holding back to the upside to see that if it is pushing in that direction that we expected. And approaching this resistance, and I think because the market tested the low, possibility for another bounce. Now on the 1-minute chart and the 15 minutes, which is sharply bullish, 30 minutes looking at also showing that the market to potentially to push back up, that we might see a potential change of trend as there is a big rejection from the support level. Now if you look at the 5 minutes here, you can see the price, there is a big bounce, pullback, retest, and rejection back to the upside again. May again come back for a pullback. And it's a sharply bull market. As there was a manipulation here, we saw that there was a break of structure and the market again started to trend back up. Looking forward to see here how the market may started to trend here, so which is basically moving in the major trend. There's a key area of resistance which the price potentially could break above. So there is a 30 minutes close, 15 minutes close just here, and now the question is, this close is the market to start again or here to trend back down. We are at entry, so we'll looking forward to see that it's showing its directional bias back to the upside here. So for us to find sell, no I don't, it's currently still bull market, so I wouldn't be a seller at the moment. If you look at here, this is the 15 minutes candlestick pattern where this is doji on the 15 minutes, and potential for the market to because there's a big bounce. This is 30 minutes candle also showing that possible bullish. 15 minutes, if you look at here, you can see the market is, there's a big rejection bullish. 5 minutes, that the price is also showing bullish. So if you look at the 1 minute here, that's where also the market showing bullish momentum. So it may come for pullback, but it is now forming here. You can see in this area a bull flag. So when you see that the price has formed a bull flag, right? So the bull flag is, as a rule of thumb, should be breaking back to the upside, right? So that being said, here if it breaks below, then most likely we will see that deeper liquidity gap to break again upside, because more often you'll see that a bull flag like that, okay, and then you could see the market has broken below and then trend back to the upside with this bull flag. So looking at in this area to see 30 minutes on the support level, 1 hour closing, a possible trend continuation or break of structure. That's what you're looking to see. All right, look to see here. Waiting for a bounce back to the upside, and it's now heading potentially back to the upside to create a new higher high. Now looking at 1 minute again, what you can see a long wick doji being formed. This is a bullish or bearish, so let's wait to see the market to show its hand in that area. So we can see that this is a doji formation on the 30 minutes, which is pretty interesting. The market is here on the 1 minute as well, multiple times grabbing liquidity here and then pushing back up, so which is waiting to see that it's breaking above. If it breaks above, that's where the possibility for the market to trend again to the upside. Very higher volatility here. What we can see from here, a rejection back to the upside, which is potentially be heading. Showing that possible. Now here let's wait to see if the market is forming a bullish structure in this area. As we see, there is a 1 hour candle close coming and also 30 minutes candle close coming. So 4 hour, if we look at what I think the market may possibly to push back up to the major direction of the trend, as with the lower time frame price action. If you look at the 5 minutes, you can see this is a possibly a bullish bias. If this candle closing above, breaking above, that's a potentially bullish continuation here in that area. Now 30 minutes that we can see with that being said, here is we are almost nearing to the candle closed in this area. Looking at the lower time frame, again looking at the 5-minute chart, here is the market is having an upside bias. The 5 minutes move a doji, and Alright, so we are nearing to the entry again. Are you guys with me with this trade? Are you guys running this trade? Anyone here in this live session? Thank you for joining here. Let's see that where we may see this market to possibly be heading. Here is what we can see, that with this pretty big bounce pullback, the market is in potentially to the uptrend here, and we may see that potential trend continuation back to the upside. That's what we're waiting to see. If the price is breaking this high here, we can expect potentially new higher high. And with the 30 minutes close coming in 4 minutes, we can see that it's forming a bullish pattern here. So from the 1 hour as well, here this is the 1 hour candle. This is a big bounce. Now that 1 hour candlestick pattern that we can see is big bounce here, and expecting it to potentially continue back to the upside. So holding on to that, it's slowly pushing up again for another possible bounce to the upside here, with a big move, pullback, liquidity grab, another move, pullback, liquidity grab, and expecting new higher high. So it's maintaining that series of higher low formation, and with that series of higher low, we may see the market to potentially go up and create a new higher high. So 30 minutes candle close is important, because when this one is closing here, we could see that possible a bullish bias. And that's where you can see the market is moving here in that direction, expecting for the price to going up here. So with this one, the price has just crossed that high. It's trying to break that high here. So the price action that you can see is trying to push back to the upside. Now with a long wick candle here is, we can see the market. This is a structure which is for me potentially to be bullish, and that's where we might see the price to break above in this area. So 4-hour candle close coming very soon, and here's the 15-minute price action, creating one by one series of higher high and higher low, which is significantly currently trying to push back up. It's an uptrend, holding on to that, and we can see the market is showing that pattern in that area. So with that said, here is the 1-hour candlestick pattern. We can see the market trend is up and expecting it to potentially move up and fill that some of the gap that we can see in this area. So looking at the, if you look at here, you can see this is the 5-minute chart showing that possible upside bias. We just have entered in the profit area. Anyone here running this trade with me, guys? Can you let me know in the live chat that you are running, or yes or no? You can say yes, I'm long on, I'm in. Okay, 1 minute top. Okay, you guys can say yes if you are running the trade here with me in this live session. Now here is the, there is one obstacle here, is the 1-hour candle, but I think we may see that if you look at the 4-hour here, this is the 4-hour candle that has a pretty sharp bounce. Now before the 4-hour close, will that be coming for another retest here? That's the key point to look at now at the moment, because if it is not being strongly bull, then we might see another retest and then rejection. So far we see that it's showing that bullish pattern here, and because it's showing that bullish pattern so far, we may see that still to remain upside here. So this is the 1-hour resistance at 3306 level, where do you think the market coming here again for another retest, or it's gonna keep pushing back to the upside, breaking this high? So looking at the 1-hour and daily price here, this is the daily price action. We saw that there was a pretty sharp bounce to the daily resistance early, and there might be another potential retest of the, if you look at the 4-hour chart before the daily close, or it just getting some rejection here. So getting some rejection here, I think we may see potential another retest. So I am closing at entry, as before the 4-hour close we need to wait to see if it is coming for another entry. So I am out with the trade at entry. The reason is, if you look at here 4-hour, let's reanalyze the chart to see where it is potentially be heading. This market has got a very sharp rejection from the support level. Now this candle may continue to rise back to the upside, or we might see another wave of drop. The reason is, if you look at the 1-hour, the price couldn't break that high. The candle closed below this key level of resistance. So what I think we may see potential another wave of drop to this 4-hour support before it potentially bounce back up and then to continue to rise to the upside here before the monthly close. So therefore you can see it's trying to push back down, and it may keep pushing up, or we might see another wave of drop. Now for us to find an entry, 3296 level is very important to see if it is coming for another pullback. We will keep watching the price action in this area and also in this area to see how the market is potentially being creating the structure here. Now if we look at this lower time frame here, what we can see that this is where the market is having a momentum back to the upside, and we see that there is already a support being created. This is manipulation candle, guys. You can see that this 1 hour level here, this is the 1 hour resistance. The market has dropped to that from this support to that level. Now if we want to go long, especially in this live session, we will be waiting for a break of this high. If the market breaks this high, 3306 candle closed above, because this is a very important candlestick pattern, then we may see that this market to potentially trend and then to go back up to this here. So otherwise it is possible for the price again to have another wave of drop before it finally turn back to the upside, so before the 4 hour close here. And that's why I would like to see how the market is potentially be preparing in that area. So and that's why we will be waiting to see how the price potentially be doing here. And let's look at that on the if you look at here, you can see 5 minutes. Okay, so there is a 5 minutes bullish candlestick pattern formation that you can see getting sharp rejection here on the 5 minute chart. And yeah, like this, if we see the market completely has broken above, that's why we, on the continuation of this trend, we can look for entry. Though we see that there is an inverted head and shoulder here, and it's forming long wick here. You can see that long wick is basically what it is doing. Because it's forming that long wick, we may see the market to trend back down here. So this is where looking forward to see the market to potentially remain bullish to the upside here. And but it may fall for another liquidity. That's why I'm not on the trade, because of, I hope that's got connected properly. So you see that there is a break of this resistance. Finally the market managed to break above, and okay, so I have got connected again. Guys, can you hear me? Can you say yes in the live chat? There has been a little bit of disconnection. Okay, so here we see that, as we mentioned earlier, after break of this high, so thank you for confirming. Here is that the price has broken above, and the candle potential trying to close above this level. So with a doji, primarily retested on the 1 minute from a long wick doji, expecting it to drop here and then to return back up. And okay, so here is the key. Looking forward to see that as you can see, the market has crossed this high, which is a key area of resistance. And now, as we discuss, as it has crossed this important level, it is possible for this market to potentially reject from the top. So if it's not rejecting, pushing back up again, that's where the possibility for us to look for another entry. So 15 minutes price action here, which is this is the 15 minutes candle. Four-hour close, that you might see that 4-hour candle close here. 1 hour closing also in 46 minutes, which is quite a few minutes for the 1 hour. 15 minutes coming in now if you look at here, you can see it's a very sharp rejection as we discussed from the top. That's a way to see where it is potentially be heading. It's a big drop. So 1 hour price, as we discussed, has got rejection, and this is the 4-hour support. So once the market coming to the 4-hour support here, with this move, we may be able to find further entry. Now for our future entry at the moment, unless we see the market is here, we may be able to find top for buying or very bottom for buying. Looking at the 4-hour here, this is the 4-hour support, and coming in that area is a good area for us to look for potential entry. So you can see it's a complete rejection again, directly hitting to the 4-hour support. Yeah, direct hit. Let's look at for an entry possible. Okay, so here is a complete break below, Now we'll be placing buy stop. If the market is pushing back to the upside only, we will be entering into the trade. Buy stop here above this high. Stop loss below all this low. And TP target will be to this resistance line. So placing buy stop at 3298.70. Sell at 3293.53 and TP target at 3306.40. That's the buy stop that I placed on this one. So I'm placing in my account as well. So here buy stop at 3298.70, stop at 3293.53, TP target at 3306.40. Place the pending order. Possibly will get a trigger here. So place the buy stop. If the market breaks above, we will be on the trade. So with that, this is a 5 minutes price action. Pretty long candle that you can see. I'm active on the trade, so my trade is triggered on this one. Buy stop is active with me for the trade is active with me on Xauusd. And if this market is, there's a big drop here, expecting it to potentially on the 4-hour support, the market has come back to that. So we are on the trade on Xauusd for possible upside here. Here I would like to see that the market is having an uptrend. We see that after two doji formation, the price is slowly trying to push back to the upside. We're on the trade with a possible bullish bias. Alright, so you can hope that I'm back in connection. It's pretty awful here. So we can see we are on the trade on this one, which is running in, and I hope that you guys can see me and hear me here. Let me review that one. All right, so here is now looking at here in this area, that way you can see the market is in a consolidation in this area. So let's wait to see if it prepare for another bounce or it's getting a rejection from the top. So yeah, we can to see that possible. The market is moving back to the entry, but if we see that not a very good trade, we also still could not be able to run it because we don't want to take a big drawdown. It's showing that possible downside. I might close out very soon. Okay, so I'm exiting the trade here. Doesn't look to me fully bullish at the moment. I'm out with the trade. It's showing that possible downside. I'm out with the trade. We will be re-entering again once we need it. It's possibility for further rejection that we can see here in this area. So we might see further bearish move because of the so here we may see further bearish move before the candle close. We will see again. So we are out with the trade and it just got rejection from the top from 30 minutes. There we can see the price is as we discussed from the 4-hour here, just got breakdown. And now to see where I'm out with the trade, guys, and we'll be re-entering once we see the price action confirmation. What we are seeing here, right? So there is a complete breakup structure. I'm out with the trade because of the breakup structure. And now so we see it start to downtrend again after this breakup structure. Now potentially we may see the market to come back here to this support level again. And there is a breakdown and I am out with the trade. Looking at 5 minutes chart. So there is a fair value gap here, a pretty big fair value gap. And alright guys, so you see that I'm back on connection. Back in connection here, and this is so you see that the market here, this is a pretty crazy move that we can see in this direction. Now the key here is to look at either this market will be potentially trending back up or coming back down again. 4 hour level that we can see, this is the 4 hour candle which is closing 23 minutes. For me, what I think there might be, how this 4 hour candle closing is important, because if it is closing as a green doji, we may see that push back up. If it is closing big drop here in that direction, we may see the market to come back down again, depending on, because there is a monthly close coming, we may see that there is a significant directional bias in this market. So let's look at here to see potential trend direction here in this market. So we'll be waiting for the entry, and I think it's still possibility for further downside, because there is a sharp rejection from the top. Looking at the 1 minute, we may see that a direct hit to that level and then to return. and from this support it's just pushing back up in that area where this is where the market potentially to push back up in that zone where there is a liquidity, which is a key area of resistance here, and wanting to see the market to push back up to hit that level and then to return back again in that direction here. So that being said, we can see that there is a pretty sharp bounce. When the market, you see that in this pullback smaller candle created, we saw another drop. Now this one could be potential another drop because there's a bounce here, little stronger in candlestick pattern, stronger bull candle. Coming for sharp now for us to find an entry here, again in the 4-hour support, that's dodgy. 30 minutes, 1 hour, 5 minutes. Looking at multi-time frame, this 5 minutes candle is bearish, so we see that there's, as I mentioned earlier, 4-hour candle closed. Now how this candle is closing is very important to see. If the market, this 4-hour closing as a significant green candle, we might see that upside, but at the same time this red candle is a liquidity grab, so possibility is still for drop. If we look at the daily here today, you can see today's price so far from this resistance line has got a rejection, and there's a big imbalance here. So if you look at the weekly bigger picture, there's long week left here. From the monthly, the market is just at the monthly opening and closing, so at the doji level. So looking for that move that we can see for this upcoming session, the price to potentially be remaining bearish, that we can see the price slowly trying to remain bearish here. So therefore 4-hour close could lead the price back, slide back down. This is the monthly support. If we look at the 15 minutes closing in a few seconds, where so you can see that on the 15-minute chart, the candle close here, pretty strong rejection from the top, a big drop, and looking forward to see the market. You can see the 4-hour, it's a pretty strong breakdown here, and with this pretty strong breakdown on the 4-hour chart, that we can see that this market is possibly to trend back down on the 4-hour chart. If you look at here, it's a big liquidity grab. What do you think, guys? Or we might see that after breaking below here, we may see that again the market to potentially trend back up again. So it's approaching a key area of support, which is very important level to look at. This is a strongly falling market at the moment, so we are looking to see possible selling opportunity once we find that entry candlestick pattern that we are looking at. And this is a, from here, if you look at, you can see this is a key area of resistance. We saw that there is a big drop straight back to this support level with this key level of support, and because the market on this key level of support where the price is potentially heading in that direction to the support level to create a new lower low. because this market in a downtrend at the moment. So if you look at 5 minutes, which is pretty strong downtrend, it's a fully bearish market. And because there is a monthly close coming, the price may break this low here to potentially creating a new lower low. Looking at the 1 minute, we can see that a bounce here, and that is where you can see the market again pushing down to the lower time frame again. Now for us to find a better entry, sharply falling market on the lower time frame. Okay guys, so here is price is approaching that support, that key area of support. Before the candle close, thank you for your contribution. Here you can see that the market is still trending down, hitting that key level after multiple liquidity grab, finally breaking below here. It's complete break of support from the 4 hours that you can see. It's a big drop. If you look at the daily, you can see it's crossed that low. That means we may see further trend continuation here, and a big drop, complete break of support. This is the 4 hour candle close coming in a couple of minutes. Let's delete this. After such a big bear candle drop, we would like to see that how the price potentially be coming here, either to drop further or trying to push back up again. So this is the nearest support, and So with a 5 minutes candle closing, we'll be able to see any pullback or a complete continuation. This is a falling market. We will be waiting for pullback and then we will be entering into the trade as soon as we see that. And 4 hour here, again looking at this zone, which is liquidity grab and then rejection. Currently with that drop for this price to potentially continue back to the support level. So 5 minutes price action here that I'm looking at. This is the nearest support again. So before candle closed, do you see any pullback? So looking at bigger picture to see where the market is heading, this is the weekly price and the price is approaching the weekly low, monthly level just below the monthly low, and daily complete break below the daily low. 30 minutes and all time frame, the market is highly bearish. So we're going to see any pullback here. Because it's a very sharply falling, we may see the market testing here to 3261 level. So for us to find an entry here, we'll be waiting for, with the 4 hour close, potential liquidity grab and then to drop again. So with the 4 hour close, pretty sharp drop here, and keep moving down. All right, guys, so you see that this is a sharply falling market. So this is a resistance line here. With that resistance, looking at the 1 hour, big dropping here, but there is a monthly close coming, so we may see this market to potentially continue to trend. Looking at the 5 minutes here, that we can see the price is very sharply bearish at the moment. So daily price is a complete break below. So what I think, at the end of the day, before the monthly close, we might see the price to come here to the weekly low, and it's a falling market. So looking at this perspective here, now in this lower time frame, this is a complete bearish channel. 1 minute chart that we look at, for us, I was looking for a liquidity grab here. You can see no candle has grabbed any liquidity in that area, just creating series of lower high completely. And because it's creating series of lower high, we will be looking for possible an entry with a possible rejection. Once we see any rejection, we will be entering into the trade. This is the 1 minute chart trying to push back up. Let's wait to see now where we might see the price to move. All right, so this might give us potential entry setup. So there is a 1 minute bearish candle rejection. So here, market trying to get a rejection from the support. So you can see on the lower time frame, 1 minute, a bearish candle formation. The market potentially reversing or coming back down again. So let's wait to see. We can see there is a pullback now. Coming here to see if this market is potentially for reversal or further trend continuation. We'll see here. And So with that being said, we can see the market has got a sharp rejection from this support level, and we may see that the price to potentially continue back to the upside, and here is started another bullish move where so we may see that there is a potentially trend continuation pattern. So for us to find an entry, we'll see that pullback, and then we can look for possible entry. We're being able to see that the market to trend back up, or sharply rising market here in this area. And so there is a rejection here in this market. We will be waiting for possible setup. We see the market is very weirdly acting here in this area, and I think there might be a potential sell zone that we can look for once we see the price has done enough pullback. It's a very interesting price action here in this area, and coming for possible sell here in this area, and we can see the market is with the candle closed. Okay, so we see that there is a significant here if we look at in this area where getting back to the upside, we'll be waiting for significant rejection from this support level. We'll be waiting for further confirmation, because the market, if you can see, there was a big consolidation in that area and then the price is broken below. We can see a pushback up. So because there's a monthly close, we'll be waiting for trend continuation once we see the prices prepared for a move. So it's Friday, guys, a weekend, and we'll be waiting for later if there is any move coming, we will be entering into the trade. Otherwise we will be waiting for a complete new change in trend. So I hope that you enjoyed this live session, and every live is different. I'll see you again, guys, very soon, trading live together. Until that, stay well, stay happy.